Hello everyone and welcome to Bill's Retro Gaming Show. On today's video, I'm going to be taking a look at the new iiRcade Gold Edition cabinets. Let's go. Earlier this year, iiRcade announced their second iteration of their home arcade machines, dubbed the iiRcade Gold Edition. Currently, it's available in 4 different variations: Dragon's Lair, Dead Cells, the Black Edition, aka the Double Dragon Edition, and the one I purchased, Space Invaders. Now, I will say I purchased mine during the pre-sale when they were going for $7.99, but now you can see they're selling at full retail price of $9.99. I decided on the Space Invaders one because I really like the look of it, and while it doesn't exactly match an actual Space Invaders arcade machine, it is a nice homage to the original. Personally, the artwork on all the cabinets is gorgeous, and you can't go wrong no matter which one you purchase. So one quick note on the Black Edition before I go into my review. This does actually come as just a plain black cab with vinyl artwork that you can put on yourself to make it look like a Double Dragon machine. Now, if you prefer, you can get different art and a different marquee from some third-party vendors, or design some yourself and theme this particular cab any way you want. So here's a look at the Space Invaders iiRcade Gold cab. It comes in 2 packages, one for the base and one for the top. Both were fairly easy to put together, with the base taking me about a half hour and the top about 45 minutes. The hardest part of the build, for me at least, was getting the second side of the bar top to line up with all the cam lock screws. But once I got that in place, the rest was a breeze. The material used is a great quality. Every piece feels solid and fits together well. I appreciate the fact that once it's all put together, there are practically no exposed screws, giving everything a nice, clean, finished look. The marquee looks vibrant, with no washout, and now that they've included a plastic overlay to go in front of the marquee, it gives it a nice shiny look, instead of the matte look that they had originally decided on. It also adds a layer of protection to the marquee as well. The controls feel good and responsive. I like the bat-top joysticks. I will say, though, that I wish that they went with different color schemes for the different cab themes. Now, all gold cabs come with red and black controls. This particular one would have looked better, in my opinion, with a blue and white theme to match the colors of the cabinet. But other than that, I really have no complaints about this cabinet. And of course, this being the gold edition, it does have those twin USB ports underneath the controls. Both the original and gold cabs come with a 19-inch monitor. And while I have heard some people complain about washout from certain angles, I really couldn't tell any on mine. It looks fine no matter what angle I'm looking at. And, of course, standing at the machine to play, it looks perfectly fine. The speakers are positioned above the monitor, and they sound amazing. The new gold cabs come with JBL sound, and even at low settings, everything just sounds great. Take a listen.
Dragon's Lair, a fantasy adventure where you become a valiant knight on a quest to rescue the fair princess from the clutches of an evil dragon. You control the actions of a daring adventurer finding his way through the castle of a dark wizard who has infested it with treacherous monsters and obstacles.
The menu system isn't the greatest, but it does get the job done. Now, recently they added a favorites menu option, which is nice, but I kind of wish it was sortable. The games just seem to sit there in whatever order I place them into the favorites menu. I'd kind of rather it be alphabetical. Here's a look at the rest of the menu options. You can see the recent games you've played, you can see all of the games you own, or it can be broken up into different categories like action, arcade, fighting, platformers, puzzle, racing, shooters, and finally sports games. And if you've downloaded the free add-on, you can get a jukebox option as well. Now, the last menu option is the settings, so let's just run over those real quick. For starters, there is a quick start guide, which will give you some needed info on how to play games and how to get in and out of games on the system. There's also a QR code where you can download the iiRcade store directly on your phone. There are accessibility options, and right now really the only accessibility option is to enable auto firing. There are some advanced options For instance, you can set the amp gains for the speakers to be low, medium, or high. I kind of like them on medium for right now. And then of course you can turn the marquee light off and on through software. There are options for the attract mode, and basically this is how long it takes before the attract mode kicks off, anywhere from off to 10 minutes. You have your options for setting up your Bluetooth devices. You can set the brightness of the monitor. See here, using the joystick to go back and forth to change the brightness. Then you can set the device password, get information on your device, such as the device ID and the nickname. Here's where you would install the preloaded games that come with the iiRcade, and we're going to go over those in a minute. Set the language, change your login options, do a network test to make sure your Wi-Fi settings are good. Check your online games, so if you have games installed and they enable online, this is where you're going to want to come to make sure that the games are set up properly for online play. Your device storage, so you can see how much room you have left on the machine. Set your time zone, set up your Wi-Fi, and finally the ability to do a system reset if absolutely necessary. Over the past several months, iiRcade has also been rolling out the ability for online play for some of its games. Now here, when you pick a game, you can pick online play or local play. And once you pick online play, you have the option of instant play, where you'll just be put into the game and waiting for somebody to come join you. Or you can create your own room and invite someone to come play with you. And here you can choose between server or peer-to-peer, P2P, as your options for online play. And you can set a password so that only the people you invite can get into it. Now, once you choose to play a game, you have a few options here. You can press C to get into the settings, and most of the games have the same or very similar settings, where you would have a filter for smooth or pixel perfect, and different scan line options, and you can see all the different options there. I tend to like the horizontal 2x one, but you can do whatever you want. Some people don't like scan lines at all, and of course you can set none to turn those off. Now, many of the games also have online leaderboards, and by pressing Z, you can get into it and see where you stand among all the other iiRcade players. Now, it does only show the top 100, but at the top of the screen, you will see your score and where you sit overall, even if you're not within the top 100. So before I give my final thoughts, let's take a look at some gameplay from the 12 games that come with this version of the iiRcade machine. So, overall, I think this is a great machine. I really have nothing bad to say about the build quality, from the cab itself to the controls. The monitor looks good and the speakers sound great. Where I think there's room for improvement is in the software, especially the UI. Now, it works, but it could definitely be improved. Luckily, that is something they are supposedly working on. I've also run into a few hiccups, such as my high score not saving on the leaderboards on some games. And I really have yet to run the online gameplay through its paces, because every time I try to play a game online, there doesn't seem to be anyone else on the particular game I want to play. Now, a lobby system of some kind could help to see if people are playing a game that I can jump in on. Again, hopefully these are things that continue to improve as time goes on. So ultimately, with this machine and whether or not someone should purchase it, I think it's going to come down to the games. Now, there are over 300 games on the iiRcade store, but not everyone is going to be excited about the ones on offer. If you like the games that are available, then you'll love this machine. But if you don't see any value in the games they offer, then this may not be the one for you. But thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this review. If you did, don't forget to like the video and leave a comment below. And that's going to do it for now. I'll see you next time.